continue from where we left off last time. And that was, we are now entering a new paradigm 2 years later, in which many things have shifted. Perception has shifted. What we thought was real has become unreal. What we thought we could rely on has become unreliable. That which we thought was to be profit-making, our politicians have turned out to be corrupt, and we don't know who to trust. We don't know what to trust. We don't know what to hold on to. And this, what to hold on to, is our wake-up call. It's our wake-up call. Up till now, we have lived where everything has been provided for us. We've been given whatever we want. At the drop of a click of a finger, we are in the world. You want to wear a particular kind of clothes, you can find it here. You want to find a particular kind of... And as a result, we forgot to rely on ourselves. We forgot to rely on a life in which your finances come from someone else. Your work is dependent on another. Your food is dependent on the supermarket. Your cash is dependent on your card or your bank. What's yours? What do you really, really possess in this moment? And this realization is the junction where your distress, fear becomes your sovereignty, where you begin to recognize you've always been looked after. You begin to recognize from the moment you were that little egg in your grandmother, not even in your mother, in your grandmother, you were looked after. You were looked after right up till now, and you will always be looked after. We always will be. That's what life does. So this paradigm change that we anticipated 2 years ago isn't just a paradigm in which we start living a new way of life. It's a paradigm in which where this web of complications becomes simplified. We are self-reliant. We begin to hold people accountable. The number of people who have been victims of coercion, bullying, threats against their will, coerced into this situation, which are now irreversible. Someone is accountable. Someone is accountable. And this accountability is about bringing humanity to its senses. How far? Bob Marley said a line many years ago, and it's only now that we've begun to realize, and he says, how long will you step aside and watch them kill your prophets? How long? And that's all that's been happening. Whoever wakes up, whoever becomes a bit sovereign, they're removed. So how long you wait for? The Christs, the Nanaks, the Govinds, all martyrs of every single truth, wisdom tradition. So we are now coming to that. This is the second coming. And that's what I mean by the second coming. It's not the fact that the external savior is here to save you. It's the fact that you are saving yourself. You are becoming aware of your illusions, aware of the fact that we've all been brought into this emotional entanglement with people, with ideas, with all of this, None of this is going to help you now. Only your sovereignty. And once you've got that, then with everyone else, we have and you have real source of strength. So, in our process of understanding sovereignty, so one is to understand it intellectually, the other is to gain it, the other is to experience it. And our meditation is a meditation in which we all begin to experience that one place within which we may have stillness, we may have peace, we may have silence, we may experience safety, we may experience feeling secure, and it's consistent. And the more we touch that consistency, the more solidified we become in our sovereignty. So, as humanity is going through its shakeup, and there are many meltdowns along the way yet, be cautious of one agenda being transferred to another. So keep the mind entertained. Remember the terrorists that were everywhere just a few years ago? Well, Corona must have got them, right? So it's one crisis after another crisis after another crisis. Each one of these crises is propagated through the channels of communication, which are your media. Unless we make a conscious effort to move away, we will remain in that. So do not be surprised if, as the narrative breaks down in this particular crisis, a new one arises. And this may be to do with the war, this may be to do with energy, this may be to do with anything. So there's a manufactured element of it. But thank the suffering that people have endured over the last few years, that many are now awake to these manufactured crises, these psychodramas that keep us entertained through fear, through it's going to happen, through all the language. So here you have a narrative right now where a country is saying, I don't want to fight. But someone else is saying, yeah, there's a war on the way. There's a war on the way. Saying, but I'm not interested. So it's like creating that energy, creating that narrative that there is this crisis looming. So once you're emotionally engaged in it, that's the energy that's used. So what can we do is to disengage from that emotionally. Once you realize those who have betrayed you, then your trust breaks. Once the trust has gone, there's no point. There's no emotional entanglement. If I know the liar to be the liar, why would I trust him again? And if I did, then I deserve all I get. So we are now in that space where we are starting to witness the betrayal in many people's lives, feeling betrayed, feeling coerced, feeling pushed into a corner to do irreparable damage to themselves. So who's accountable? Who's accountable? Those propagating the fear, those behind the fear, are those administering that which does the damage. Who's accountable? So these are now the kind of questions humanity is going to have to grapple with. We're going to have to understand what justice means. But out of this crisis, there will arise and is arising a different way of looking at life, a different way of looking at our health. And the most important discovery is now going to center on the heart. that if we get the heart right, then everything connected to that, the nerves, that's where our health is now going to take us. As this unfolds around us, and as our trust begins to become more and more eroded through with the pharmaceuticals and the drug company and the medical stuff that's going around, we are going to have to part in that responsibility to look after ourselves. And this is where your sovereignty begins. This is what sovereignty means. So, without any further information, let's go on and do our meditation. So, today we will do a little bit of a body scan, and then we'll do a quick heart coherence. And this is a really interesting meditation, the heart coherence. So through the center, we have cultivated 5 different workshops around this, each one transcending you to another plane of understanding. So the heart coherence is the basic understanding of just synchronizing our heart rate with our breathing. And if we do that, there are many benefits to us in terms of emotionally, in terms of our health, our physiology, our mental state. All of this is documented. And there are easier ways to do this. There are more advanced ways to do this. So we're going to go around the middle. And the process is basically synchronizing our breathing to our, with focus at our heart, such that we begin to breathe, almost feel that we're breathing through the chest itself. Once we begin to experience a sensation similar to that, we begin to slow our breath down, not once, but twice. At the second time, once we feel it is slow enough and we're not necessarily struggling, we cultivate a positive emotion. And that is anything that you love, anything that you care about, anything that gives you, arises compassion in you or gratitude. And if you can't think of anything at the time, then what I've noticed is just the intention to smile or appreciate the current moment in some way will allow a similar feeling to come up. Okay, so we're going to begin with our usual body scan as ever. So, back is straight and upright. Eyes are closed. Mouth is closed. Your intention is simply to return to your sacred self, to return to yourself, to return home. And by that we mean to become present. So as you breathe in, begin to notice your posture. Notice how the body feels. Just see if you can get a general sense of what's going on with you at this moment. Almost like a third person. What's occupying the mind? What's occupying your emotional space? And then if you just do a quick body scan with a hula hoop above your head, and just imagine this hoop as it comes down, begin to scan your body, scanning for sensations, but also pushing any stale energy downwards. Take your time, scanning your body all the way down. Notice if there's anything dominant, pain, ache, tightness, itch. On your next breath in, bring your focus to your inner space. Here we mean our mental space and our emotional space. So bring your focus towards your thoughts first. What's occupying your thoughts at the moment? What kind of thoughts are occupying your mental space? Bring your focus to your chest and hold it there for a few moments. Notice the movement of your chest in rhythm with your breath. See if you can move your focus a bit deeper into your chest, almost like it's in the center of your chest. And as you focus that, holding it, you begin to notice how you're feeling right now. Do you feel settled? Do you feel unsettled? This moment. This moment. On your next breath out, begin to listen to the sounds around you, allowing the sounds to come to you. No judgment, no commentary, simply listening. Gently breathe just beneath your nose. Your commitment is to hold it there. So you can watch your breath. And as you watch your breath, noticing the start of your in-breath, the length and the end, and the same for your out-breath. allowing the breath to breathe by itself. When you're ready, bring your focus towards your chest. Holding it as best as you can. The center of your chest. If you wish, you may place a palm at the center of your chest. Begin to feel the warmth. Begin to feel the pressure of the palm against the chest, holding your focus there. The key is to learn to intentionally bring your focus to this part of the body. And as you hold your focus there, begin to notice the movement in rhythm with your breath. And to help us focus and to bring our breath into rhythm, we count 1 to 6 as we breathe in, mentally, 1 to 6 as we breathe out. Trying to hold the breathing pattern, maintain the rhythm. 1 to 6 on the breath in, 1 to 6 on the breath out. Your focus at the chest. And if you can now, slowing your breath down slightly. Perhaps counting 1 to 7 on the breath in, 1 to 7 on the breath out. And if possible, try and see if you can slow your breath just a little bit more. Holding your focus at your chest just as best as you can. Once you feel the breath has slowed sufficiently, bringing to your mind something that invokes love, care, compassion, gratitude, or simply appreciation. And as you bring that to your mind, begin to notice the change of sensations around the chest. Perhaps a warmth or a lightness. And as we begin to feel change in sensation, feeling, we draw a slow, deep breath in, hold, and relax. You can bringing your hands into a comfortable position and holding your focus now beneath your nose once again. Stay with your breath. Begin to focus on your out-breath now, following it all the way till the end. And as you follow your out-breath, allow yourself to relax further, moving deeper and deeper into this moment. Stay with your breath, following your out-breath all the way till the end. Notice there's a tiny little gap at the end of your out-breath before the in-breath begins. See if you can notice that. Notice how you're breathing now. How does the breath feel? Does the breath feel light or does it feel heavy? Notice how the breath is breathing by itself, where you are just simply the observer. See if your breath has a sound. Listening to the in-breath as it comes in, listening to the out-breath as it goes out. Listening to the in-breath as it comes in, listening to the out-breath as it goes out. Stay with your breath, listening as best as you can, holding your focus at your breath. Does your in-breath sound the same as your out-breath? The more intently you listen, the deeper you embed yourself in the moment. Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. Nowhere to go. Simply being present. Allowing the nervous system, the blood system, the whole body to balance itself. On your next breath in, open your awareness to all the you. Listening, opening. Allowing the bell to take you deeper into the silence. Keep listening. Notice your experience, the familiarity, the stillness, the silence, and the peace. When you're ready, bring your focus just beneath your nose, simply sitting with your breath, sharing the silence. Watching the in-breath moving in, watching the out-breath moving out. On your next breath out, expanding your awareness to include your whole body once again. Notice how the body feels. Notice that you're still in the same place you began. Notice that your back is straight and upright. You can sense your thighs all the way down to your ankles. Notice your feet. Notice the soles of your feet. Coming back to the chair, notice the back again. Upright, straight. Shoulders are still relaxed, as are the arms and the hands. Eyes are closed, mouth is closed, and the face is relaxed. Coming back to your breath. As you breathe in, you can sense your body. As you breathe out, you can sense your body. Allowing your awareness to come back. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few slow deep breaths in, and in your own good time, gently opening your eyes. Taking your time.